go back to a debate over the vote that happened last night over how we handle ISIS. With us, we've got Republican Tom Rooney from Florida. We've got Donna Edwards from Maryland. Tom, let me begin with you. You voted against this. Why?
I just thought it was a losing strategy. There was, I listened to the commander-in-chief. I want to support a commander-in-chief in a time of war, but as a former Army captain and talking to a lot of the other vets that serve, it was just something that we felt we needed to talk about more about how to go in there.
Needed more of a debate.
If you're going to destroy them, you got to destroy them, and I didn't think this was the way to do it.
Right. You also asked the question, how did arming the Syrian rebels, how did that turn from fantasy to strategy?
I don't know, and as has been said on this show already today, the experiment has been tested a little bit at this point over the last year with very poor results. So to do it at a larger scale with the president saying there's not going to be any boots on the ground in Tampa the other day and elsewhere, I just couldn't support it at this point.
I would say you both don't want to see boots on the ground, but Representative Edwards, what's the hope in arming the Syrian rebels? Have you been given any tangible evidence or intelligence that shows that this could be a strategy that works?
Well, actually, the reason I voted against it is because I'm not quite convinced on the Syrian end. I mean, I have absolute confidence that the president has outlined a strategy with respect to Iraq that can work. Syria, not so much. I mean, I'm concerned, for example, that Turkey doesn't seem to be quite at the table, which seems to me key to holding that border, to keeping the illegal oil flowing through and financing ISIS. I'm concerned about who the Free Syrian Army is and the rebels are.
Has anything on that been provided that gives you all any gut that this could be a potential?
Let me just say this. I do think that the president is right, that if there can be, training and it works, training outside with the Sunni Arab nations, which they seem to have gotten some agreement with, that maybe that could work. I am really concerned that we've gone through this. We're going away for 2 months, no authorization, still operating under the authorization for war from Iraq.
2003.
And I don't think that that is acceptable. And Congress really does have a role to play here in making sure that we authorize whatever it is that we do going forward.
Congressman, we've got a Democrat and a Republican both skeptical of this strategy. And the Congresswoman said something that I know people in my past district, probably your district, are saying too. Hey, buy-in. If Turkey's not bought in, if a lot of other nations across the Middle East aren't bought in, why should we go back over there again and fight their fight?
Absolutely. I agree with everything that Donna said. I think that if you get a new authorization, maybe in December when we get back to talk about Syria, then we'll be able to shore up those countries to get the buy-in. And, but as of right now, you asked about who these Free Syrian people are. We have in the Intelligence Committee over the last year tried to get to know them a little bit, but I can tell you that, I am nowhere nearer to be comfortable than I was a year ago.
It still sounds like fantasy to me. I mean, we've got a choice right now. It's a terrible choice between Assad and ISIS. Why don't we just tell the American people the truth? There's not a third way. There's not a neat, clean way in Syria right now. I don't think Americans
Well, but I do think the president is right to focus some resources on making sure that we shore up the politics in Iraq, making sure that we arm the Kurds and the Sunnis to fight that fight, because at some point or other the people in the region and the players in the region have to be willing to put more on the line and have more skin in the game than the United States does. That's the only way that this is.
Agreed.
Thanks to you both for coming in today.
By the way, the Gators or Bama this weekend?
Obviously the Gator.
Obviously.
Obviously not. Roll Tide.
All right, coming